Hey, what's going on, my friends? This is Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. And I'm excited to be with you today, this morning, this afternoon, this evening, wherever you're at, wherever you're tuning in, because we're going to continue the conversation about TikTok and essentially how to drive a massive quantity of free traffic, free leads, and get sales from an up-and-coming platform that was in the stages that Facebook and YouTube all were in at one time, and those who jumped in at that early time prospered and profited, right? So my guest today, I'm going to bring him in without further ado. Let me go ahead and get this thing. Mike, what up?
What's up, Dave? Thanks for having me on the show today. Appreciate it.
Hey, man, it's my pleasure. So Mike has, and by the way, Mike, I forgot to tell you this in pre-show, when I'm looking here, I'm looking at you, and then when I'm looking up here, I'm looking at the camera. So you probably figured that out. But so, guys, Mike is somebody inside of our legendary community, and he has really done a fantastic job of good old action taking. All right. And Mike, you've accumulated like 18,000, or what is the number? We've made a big claim on the headline here. What was it 9,000 followers, or
Yeah,
almost 9,000 in 18 days?
yeah, I'm gonna hit 9,000 followers probably today.
All right, cool. So we're talking about TikTok, and the reason is not because we are interested in the newest, hottest, shiniest platform. That's not the whole gist here. It's really, for our community, one of the biggest challenges that people have is actually like taking action. And up until this point, Mike, did you do any like YouTubing, or what other like kind of marketing were you doing before this?
So yeah, I got a small YouTube channel. It's about 2,000 subs, and since I've started TikTok, I realized I got a real problem with my YouTube channel. And as far as I feel like it's going to make me a better YouTuber as well,
Yeah.
in the sense that I look at some of my YouTube videos now and I realized how boring they are. And one thing that TikTok has made me realize is you got to be really freaking entertaining and engaging.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, totally.
and I got a small Facebook group as well. So so other than that, yeah, like on another affiliate platform, I finished pretty high up on the leaderboard,
Yeah, I
and I
saw that. I saw that contest that you were part of. That was impressive.
realized that I had an issue. If I want to succeed at the highest level, I actually needed to build an audience, and I figured like TikTok was a great way to build up an audience.
Hmm.
So that's what I've been working on.
So, like, take us back so we can have some context about where you came from. Like, where did you come from? Just give us the nutshell version of your story and what got you into online marketing. You're primarily doing affiliate marketing right now, right?
Yeah, so I do affiliate marketing, and I also run like an agency
I got
kind
you.
of on the side.
I
So
got you.
people basically, I leverage the skills I learned from affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
So I started by running ads because I had more money than I did time. So I figured ads was a quick way to propel in the affiliate marketing space.
Right.
Um, and that's kind of how it all started. Yeah, I got into affiliate marketing because my goal was to eventually develop my own product and
Mm.
come out with my own type of product.
Yeah.
But I wanted to first understand that I need to learn how to sell someone else's product who's already established. And
Key.
if I can't figure out how to sell someone else's products who's already established, then how the heck am I ever going to sell my own product?
Right. Right.
And that's
I think that's huge. I think that's huge. I think a lot of you guys, if there's one nugget you take away from this morning, it's really that it sales and marketing is key to growing any business. And that sounds cliche and simplistic, but I've said this. I gave the example yesterday of the My Pillow. Now, there's some people out there who may love My Pillow. I don't. I hate it. It's like it's a pillow with a bunch of memory foam cut up in it, but they've sold millions of these My Pillows because the marketing's so good. They've got great infomercials. The guy who pitches it's a great pitch man. And so we obviously love the education industry, writing books or ebooks. We actually sell this affiliate marketing insider's guide as an ebook for $1.99. And we also sell video courses, coaching, masterminds when we're not in the middle of a pandemic, but we've just changed our masterminds. We're actually about to do one as a Zoom workshop. So we're adjusting, but it's all in the education industry. And, you can even pre-sell a course and deliver it via webinar workshop if you can actually sell it, if you can sell it. So I think that's super key about what you just said, is actually learning how to sell somebody else's products first. So are you in the first year of doing this, dude? Are you like pretty new to this overall?
Yeah, I started like me and Jonathan Montoya. I seen you interviewed him as
Yeah.
well. We started kind of around the same time in May, and we've kind of followed similar paths. And I seen his work ethic, and it was just like, wow. Even being around Jonathan, and seeing that his work ethic is kind of motivating. So obviously, surrounding yourself and we became good friends. We attended an event together and we ran into each other,
Nice.
and we became good friends. So, we communicate here and there, but I think it's just surrounding yourself by people who are actually doing it and taking action is key as well.
Mm-hmm. And keeping your eye on those people instead of just looking at even what I think it's important too, Mike, and you've just pointed this out in one way, shape, or form, is looking at people who are taking action and looking at what they're doing versus what everybody's saying. Because people can say anything. I mean, we see this in politics every day. We see this, we've seen this growing up our entire lives. People say stuff, but in marketing, in order to learn marketing or in order to learn any new trade, like, I can go and listen to a plumber, which growing up, my dad was a plumber and a carpenter, and we did a lot of bathroom and kitchen remodels. And I mean, if you think about this, it's common sense. He could have sat there and talked to me and walked me through how do you install tile, but I learned from watching him. Same thing with taking action in marketing online. I mean, you learn the most from watching somebody. And so I love that you pointed that out. That's key. And I think if you guys are just getting started or wondering what you should do or who you should surround yourself with or who you should follow, there's a million people out there. And it's easy to get lost in the sea of social media. But follow the people that are taking action. That's usually probably within your circle of influence, 5 to 10 people. It's not really that many people. I talked about this yesterday on the show, Mike, that, it's actually rather easy to succeed, a lot easier than people think, because most people, like 99% of people, are not going to do anything.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the reasons why, like with TikTok, probably the reason why I'm growing so fast is I'm putting my best stuff out there for people to see, that I know everything that I've learned. I'm trying to just give it all away for free. And I don't really care that I'm sharing my best stuff, because I realize 99% of the people aren't even going to do anything with the information anyways.
Right. Yeah, but they're gonna contribute to your engagement, and they're gonna share it and potentially bring somebody else who's gonna buy something from you or join you in something or take one of your affiliate recommendations. I love that. I'd like to talk about that. Did you have a struggle, or did you have some sort of a epiphany when it came to sharing your best stuff? And also, if you could mix in, how did you go from, well, I'm a newbie, the mindset, I'm a newbie, I don't know anything, to realizing that you had a ton of information that you had here because you were attending events and going through courses and learning stuff? How did you realize and give yourself permission to actually begin to share value and become, quote unquote, an authority in the marketplace? I think a lot of people have a real issue going from that student to quote unquote teacher transition. How did you do that?
Well, I'm not going to lie, it wasn't easy. And the way I did it personally is I actually wanted to get results first, and prove that like I knew what I was doing, right? But anyone just starting out, and if they're like, oh, I don't have any results, what am I going to do? You can share other people's results as well if you're just starting out. So that's basically my biggest takeaway is that um, yeah, like I said, I wanted to get results before I put myself out there. I was actually a content consumer for a very long time
Mm.
on different Facebook groups, and I would just consume as much as I could.
Yeah.
And we talked about like following successful people on different platforms and stuff like that. Like I took even some of your top affiliates. Um, Jacob Karras, for example. He's done over 100,000 with Legendary that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of your top affiliates. I went back and I just studied the heck out of what he did.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would even go back into like Facebook groups that he belonged to, and I would search his name and look for old posts from like 2 years ago,
Mm.
and I would just try to learn what the heck he was doing. Um, and that's what I mean by following people that are actually successful and
Mm-hmm.
are doing it.
Yeah.
Is like I dig pretty deep onto like researching people and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's helped me.
Yeah. It's huge. It's huge. I mean, all the answers to how somebody's done something are right there in front of you. I mean, you can go dig through somebody's YouTube channel. You can that's huge that you just pointed that out. You can search somebody's name in any Facebook group and all their posts will come up and you can see exactly what they've posted in any Facebook group for as long as if they've ever. All their posts will just show up. You can go and look at somebody's website and read through their blog post. I've been able to figure out on some email list how to go and click certain buttons. Like on Aweber, they used to have a function to where you could kind of click through, and it would take you to a index of every single email that was ever sent. And I used to actually, I don't know if Aweber does that anymore, but I remember at the early days of my career, I would click that little button in somebody's email. I would go over to that historical index of every email that they ever sent, and I would just read through their emails, and then I would take those emails and model the line structure, the word structure, how you made your sentences short, how you made your paragraphs, like, how you hit return, and instead of a big long wide, we try to make, when we're writing copy, our sentences or our paragraphs thin so it's easy to read, so somebody doesn't have to scan a whole page. Like all those little things I picked up from watching people. That's huge that you point that out. And I think for those of you who are wondering, today I need to write an email or write an ad, I don't know where to start. If you're starting with a blank page, you've made a mistake. You should have a swipe file. You should have things that you're looking at. We call it a swipe file. Anytime you see a good ad, you should snatch it, take a screenshot of it, put it in a folder. So now all of a sudden when you go to write an ad, you're not starting with a blank screen. You've got an entire swipe file of ads you can look at. Jake Thornhill the other day revealed sort of his way that he initially did research for topics to create content videos on TikTok. What is your process of coming up with ideas for content?
Um, So yeah, just to touch on what you were saying earlier, success leaves clues as well. That's that was a big takeaway.
Yeah.
So content ideas, I would go over to YouTube and I would search what are the best videos, what are the most viral videos, and then what I was doing is taking some of that information and well, TikTok only gives you 1 minute, and I realized YouTube was kind of flawed in the sense that these YouTubers are putting out videos that are 40 minutes, and sometimes this information could be in 1 minute. So if you can give somebody, and what I love about TikTok is the transfer of knowledge at a very fast pace. So I'm trying to give a lot of value and also if you guys look at my handle or look at any of my videos, I call it valuetainment. So you got to provide a lot of value and be entertaining,
Yeah.
So I think that's the key. And it's helping people. That's what I've been focusing on, is just how can I help as many people as I possibly can that might be struggling during this time. Maybe they lost their job, anything like that, and they're looking for other opportunities.
Yeah.
And whenever I go live, I always present Legendary Marketer as a great opportunity as well, which helps. I believe in the product and what you guys are offering. So I feel like believing in what you're promoting is a big thing as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I talk about that in some of my TikTok videos is like to be a great affiliate, you actually have to, believe in the product, use it and all that, right? So,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think conviction, you having confidence in what you're talking about is just as much of an endorsement to what you're selling as anything. I mean, quite
mhm.
frankly, there's no real way. I was actually, and I found this to be true last night. I found this content channel that was relating to kind of personal development and becoming your best self as a man. And I was sharing it with some of my buddies, and I was trying to explain some of the content and the kind of ideas that this guy had, and I couldn't do it. It was really difficult, but the passion that I had behind what I like, how much I got out of it, and how much I liked the guy's content, I was able to convince them to take a look at the content because of my conviction behind it, not particularly because I could explain this guy's ideas in theory. So I think that's an important takeaway for you guys who are wondering, why is my content not picking up and taking off? Like, why does it seem like I'm putting in so much work or whatever, or posting so many videos and it's not really taking off? Well, Mike hit the nail on the head. Not only it can't be boring. And I think that the one of the cool things about TikTok, Mike, is the fact that it's forcing you to put an idea into 60 seconds or less. And nowadays, if you can't communicate your message in 60 seconds or less, you really have a problem. You need to figure out how to say more with less words, because people's attention spans are a lot shorter. But also the passion. And I've watched some of your TikTok videos. You guys can go search his name on TikTok. What's your handle on TikTok, by the way?
At Higher Ground Nomad.
At Higher Ground Nomad. So you guys can go search his videos on TikTok, follow him, and you'll see what I've noticed. There's passion, there's excitement. You're running up to the camera and you're running away in your house. And it's like, holy crap, this guy's on coke, but it's like, you realize that that's what catches your attention. It's like, who's this crazy guy with the alien face who's running around like his house like he's on drugs? But then all of a sudden you listen to the content. It's like, this is good stuff. This
Yeah,
is good
exactly.
stuff.
So that's the biggest thing is like I said, you got to be, I call it like valuetainment, right? And a good thing like what I did is, I went and looked at like infomercials. Like infomercials still work to this day.
For sure they
So
do.
what are they doing on, yeah, what are they doing on infomercials to make them so entertaining, right? Um, and I just went and I studied like some of the best commercials, like the Dollar Beer Club. This guy built, I don't know how many millions, I want to say 50 million, $100 million company just from using commercials. So then I went and I researched all his commercials and I looked up his mindset behind commercials and what he was doing. Um, and I kind of understand the psychology of making something kind of go viral, so to speak. And
Yeah.
that's really helped me is studying past people that have actually been there and done it.
Well, you know what's interesting? I'm feeling a little allergenic this morning. I had an interesting morning, Mike. I had an Amazon guy back up into my driveway, and like there was a cul-de-sac he could have turned around in, and instead he turned around and tried to back up in my driveway, which is on a big hill, and scraped his entire bottom railings of his truck into my driveway, and I ran outside like a crazy man and had to deal with that. So anyway, sidebar, just a little story for you. Yeah, dude, I totally understand what you're talking about. What what Go on and talk about a little bit more about your mindset behind, or your approach to kind of creating a message in 60 seconds. And I want you to elaborate a little bit on the what you noticed in your content that was boring, and now how you've begun to evolve your content both on TikTok, but also, are you doing videos on YouTube as well?
Well, yeah, so my YouTube channel has actually been growing pretty rapidly since I've been posting on TikTok.
Nice. And why do you think that is?
Um, well, well, for one, I got a link in my bio
Okay.
on my TikTok that
Right.
links right to YouTube.
Right.
So it's it's a good way to grow your YouTube as well. Um, and now I think people want to see more, and maybe me go a little bit deeper on things that maybe TikTok you're only getting a minute to produce, like to put out content. But I realized, hey, I can build up my YouTube as well, as you know, YouTube's a great asset to be building. All your top affiliates are, a lot of them are YouTubers. So
It's
like,
huge.
yeah, and now I feel like I said, becoming a better YouTube, and maybe I was looking at my YouTube content before, I realized I was pretty boring, and I got to put out actually more valuetainment YouTube content. I feel like the skills are transferable.
Yeah.
So if you learn how to do TikTok well, you're going to learn how to do YouTube well as well. I feel like that makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's because TikTok's teaching you how to say more with less words. I think the other thing that's a big deal in creating content, in you got to figure out what your niche wants. So, we're if like for example, Legendary, I've been in the, we're teaching people business models. It's considered the make money or the wealth niche. And as much as people appreciate personal development in this niche, as much as they appreciate mindset in this niche, it's usually one of the very last things that people become interested in. They're not super interested. What catches their attention, what type of video that they're willing to watch, is let me show you how to make $50 in 5 minutes, and there's various different examples. I mean, there's countless examples that you could show people how to go on rev.com and do transcriptions as a freelancer, how to advertise and then go over and hire somebody on free, charge those guys, make $100 an hour and hire somebody on Fiverr to do it for $5 an hour. How to find products on ClickBank and promote them, how to find products in Legendary and promote them for commissions, how to do X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3. There's countless different ideas that you can demonstrate in a video that show or give people ideas about how to make money. And those are the videos, Mike, that take off. Those are the videos that people are getting tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of views on. And it's taken me a long time to realize that as well. I've worked on a lot of leadership stuff and personal development. I have a lot of mindset stuff to talk about, and I can talk about that stuff till the cows come home. I'm going to have a small viewership. But if I want videos to take off and go viral, I got to really know what my audience wants to hear. And so, are you picking up on that as well? Have you made that transition from talking head or talking about ideas or mindset to talking about more, hey, let me give you in 60 seconds or 5 minutes on YouTube an actual idea of how to go make money right now? Even if it's not something that you're particularly doing, you're realizing that giving those people ideas demonstrates that you have value, know what you're talking about, and also is giving them what they're looking for. Have you made that connection? If so, and did you make that transition from like mindset content or anything to more, hey, let me give them the actual thing they're looking for? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, for sure. So I want to say, like, I'm big into mindset as well. I'm a huge believer in it.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I love Tony Robbins, for example. I went and seen him live. I did the whole firewalk shit, all
Right.
that. Like,
Me too.
you know, I'm a huge believer in mindset. With TikTok though, to answer your question about that, is it was understanding what the algorithm wants in order to kind of go viral. Now, in the beginning, when you first put out a video on TikTok, it puts it out to say a group of 100 people, and they're just random 100 people. Okay, so, and I don't know the exact numbers. I'm saying 100, but I don't know if it's 100 or 25. It just puts it out first to random people, and then from there, if you gain followers from that first little batch that TikTok lets the video see, if you gain followers from that video, then they're going to allow it into like almost like another stage of virality, I guess you can call it.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, if you gain followers in stage 2, it'll go to like another stage. So what I've been focusing on TikTok is like, I've been thinking, what do complete beginners need to be successful, and what can complete beginners relate to? So
Mm-hmm.
if you look at my TikToks, I talk about Amazon quite a bit.
Sure.
And I've talked about, like simple things that people can do, actionable steps
Yeah,
that people can do and incorporate because it relates to the masses.
exact. I get what you're
So
saying.
when something is relatable to the masses, then I feel like it's got a better chance of going viral.
Yeah.
I do talk about legendary, on my lives and things like that, but um, it's not as big as Amazon, let's say. Like
It's not an
everyone knows.
idea that exactly. It's not an idea that everybody understands. You say selling products on Amazon, that's an idea that people can instantly grasp. They can grasp it. You talk about affiliate marketing, people might not even know what that is, and then you talk about high ticket affiliate marketing or or education or e-learning affiliate marketing. It's like people don't I get it. So, and I think that's one of the things that that's one of the things that we as copywriters strive for in our headline and our lead is, can I introduce an idea immediately that people understand, sort of like a meme. One of the reasons why memes are so popular and why they've completely shifted our culture is because it takes a big idea, something that normally you would have to tell a long drawn out story about, and it instantly tells that story in one simple picture. One simple picture. And so I love the point that you're bringing up about giving, even if it's not a business model you teach, promote, or an affiliate for, whatever, to demonstrate that as, hey, would you like to make money? Let me just explain to you real quick, or show you where to go sign up as an affiliate, or how to set up a quick Amazon store, because people can wrap their head around that. I think that's huge, Mike. That's
Yeah.
huge. Anything else to say about that, or any other advice that you would get? I want to try to wind this thing down here in the next minute. What other tip or tips would you like? How have you approached content in terms of just anything else that you want to share that you think would help somebody who's trying to get started with content creation right now, whether it's on TikTok, whether it's on YouTube? I mean, obviously, I think right now TikTok and YouTube are smart. I just think they're smart plays. I think if you said, hey, I'm going to commit to doing video content on TikTok and YouTube, and then I'm going to repurpose that content on Instagram and Facebook, right? Real simple. You don't have to create content twice, really. And you say, I'm going to do that for the next year, you'd be like, consistently, you'd be blown away by the results where you were in a year from now. So that's my 2 cents. I'm gonna leave the final words for Mike. What else would you tell somebody if your son, whatever, nephew, friend that you cared about was sitting next to you, and you only had a couple of sentences or a minute or so to say, hey, this is what I'd recommend you do? What would you say to him?
Well, I'd say first of all, I'd go follow, the most successful TikTokers there are. If you're trying to build an audience around TikTok, what are they doing? Can you model that? Like I follow one guy, he's not even in my niche. He's got 1 million followers, but he gives me inspiration and ideas. So I know we talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
The other thing, put some thought in actually planning out your videos. So sometimes like the night before, I take out my notepad and I write down ideas. I'm always writing down ideas for my videos, and I try to actually plan in my head how would it make sense for a complete newbie, right? Because that's basically what TikTok is like you said, not most people don't even know what affiliate marketing even is. So when you say affiliate marketing, they have no clue. So if you look at some of my videos, I say like, imagine making money having no product, because basically that's what affiliate marketing is. You're making money off someone who has no product. So I try to use terminology at like a grade 5 level that the masses can understand.
Yeah.
So
Huge.
I think that's a huge advantage. And if you look at like Donald Trump, for example, I know they say he won his campaign because he speaks at a grade 5 level, and I think that's the key. One of the keys too is don't overthink it and try not to make it too complex. Simplicity is gonna win the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's genius advice, man. That's genius advice. It's so interesting to watch somebody create content and then talk to them, because you really got to be a strategist. You really got to be a strategist. And I think D Trump is a great example of somebody who I'm not entirely sure. It'd be really interesting to sit down and talk to him and see if he was the same dude, out in or behind the scenes as he is out publicly. I know people have their opinions about that, um, but sitting here talking to you, watching you create content, and then talking to you and seeing how much strategy you have behind it, the thought you're putting into it. Guys, it's really not just a let's throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. Putting a little bit of extra thought. I used to be a wing, like I'd wing a lot of stuff, dude. Like I can remember coming into events, and I was busy. It wasn't like I wasn't doing anything. I was running a company, but we'd go into events, 4, 5, 6,000 people, and I'd have nothing prepared. I'd just get up there and just absolutely just bring energy and it was like my talks were good, but when I started to actually plan my talks, like use a few slides to help guide me or plan what I was going to say before I went up on stage, and then I also brought that same energy. Like, not only did people feel the energy, but they walked away feeling like, damn, like I got some meat there. I didn't just get pumped up. And so talking to you, and you're the second guy, so that's a huge clue. You're the second guy who's held up a physical notepad. Jake did that the other day, and Jake's blowing up with his content. So success does leave clues. And, you've come on today, and this is really a stream that's worth rewatching. If you guys are feeling the value, drop a comment from Mike down below. Let him know that you appreciate his time today. And if you want us to continue to keep bringing this sort of value to you on a daily basis, which quite frankly, whether you like it or not, we're going to keep showing up because that's what we do. If you're not creating content right now, especially through a pandemic when everybody's glued to their screens, you're missing out. That's going to be my Gary V talk of the day. He's always slamming content. But, show some love. Share this with somebody also who's might be looking for some direction. If you're an affiliate of ours, of course, you can include your affiliate link with that share. And Mike, keep up the fantastic work, bro. We're thrilled to have you in our community, man. I can envision looking down the road 12, 18 months, and you're just absolutely killing it. And you're coming on to our show and, contributing to our community and yours with like so much more experience and value than you have even right now. And that excites me, bro. So thanks for coming on, man, and keep up the great work.
Thanks for having me on the show, Dave. Appreciate it.
All right, dude.
And one other thing, I'll leave one other tip here at the end. I want to say, don't be afraid. You're talking about Gary Vee. Don't be afraid. Like if you look at my latest TikTok, I try to leverage people like Gary Vee, people that have massive followings, right? And my last video was all to do with how to get Gary Vee's email address. Like I'm not going to probably email him. And I actually use that tool if I'm looking to take on more clients in my business. I can, that was what the video was around, but nice. I made it relatable again to someone with a massive following.
Right.
So think about that when you're creating content as well.
I love that, man. I love that. All right, dude, I'm going to let you go. Have a great day. Keep up the good work, and we'll talk to you later, bro.
Thanks, Dave.
All right.
Ciao.
All right, guys. It is that time, which is essentially game time, right? Hopefully you've had your coffee, and I'm just assuming that you're in the United States of America. If you're not, then maybe you've had your nighttime tea. But anyways, for those of us here in the States, it's time to get to work today. Have a legendary day. Go out and create something that at the end of the day you feel proud of. You feel like you produce something. That is content. That is writing an email. That's writing an ad. If you're running ads on Facebook, don't sit around and wait for your ads to be approved, etc. There's not, for me, enough time in the day. There's not enough time in the day. And for you, stacking up lists or things to do, and then organizing those things and prioritizing those things and then checking those things off the list is how you move your business forward. It's just like anything. If you were organizing your garage, you would ideally do it section by section. You would throw stuff out, move through it, right? Try to stay off social media, try to stay off distractions that would slow you down from finishing the project. So every day, when you come to your business, when you sit down at the computer, staying out of your email inbox or being disciplined with that, staying off social media and being a consumer, being disciplined with that, giving yourself that time and space to be able to do those things. You don't want to starve yourself from being like a social human being or whatever, but really being disciplined. And that's one of the things I've been talking about a lot lately. I'm going to continue to talk about is building that discipline and also building those muscles, building those muscles around doing healthy, profitable behaviors, income producing activities on a daily basis. And for me, getting up and doing the show on a daily basis is an act of that. It's an act of creating versus consuming. So there's certain things that I do to get my day kicked off as well. I tune into things and consume things, and then I get into creation mode. So now's that time. Have a legendary day. Meet us back here a Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and we'll talk to you later. Be legendary. Peace.